created live on Fireside.
So want to thank everybody right now for joining us for another edition of the Chris and Amanda Show, episode 5, Amanda. Can you believe it?
I can't believe it. 5 episodes in. It feels like we've been doing this forever, but it also seems like, wow, how can it already be 5 episodes? Because that means 5 Mondays that we've been doing this. And I'm just loving every episode that we do, and it just becomes more and more fun as we do it. I love it.
Yeah, me too. This has just been it's just been amazing. I can't believe we're up to 5 episodes already. And then we've got a holiday happening next Monday. So right now our plans are to be live, right? I mean, that's still
absolutely
the plan. Yeah,
absolutely.
I mean, so we'll have a nice Memorial Day extravaganza show, probably a theme show.
For sure. Do you want to say what Memorial Day implies by you?
Right. So for all of our non-US friends that are joining us today, our global friends, Memorial Day is a national holiday here in the States, but more specifically I would say in New Jersey. Well, I'm going to go with East Coast. East Coast, and I know it's not just an East Coast thing, but for the East Coast in particular, especially around here, growing up on the East Coast here of the United States, in New Jersey in particular, it is the unofficial start of the summer season here. Woo-hoo! And also usually the official opening of all the boardwalks and everything down the shore, the Jersey Shore, which is a lot of fun. My wife and I went to the shore yesterday. And the boardwalks are open, but not everything is 100% open yet. So that will happen usually around Memorial Day weekend. That is when everything's open. And here, too, in New Jersey, they're lifting the indoor mask mandate. The governor has said on Friday, this coming Friday, June 28th, they're going to lift the indoor mask mandate. So that will also be a thing coinciding with everything else opening at the Jersey Shore.
So exciting to see it moving in that direction. And it does mean that summer is here, and I think we're going to be able to enjoy this summer. Yay! So I think we're going to have a fun theme edition for the Chris and Amanda Show on Monday. So buckle up and get ready. I do want to do a quick audio check-in. Can you guys hear us okay? If you can hear Chris well, can you clap? Someone clap.
Anyway,
there we go. Can everyone hear me clearly? Amanda. Awesome. Thank you guys for clapping. Oh, yes. Okay. That's great.
Really appreciate that. Thank you very, very much.
Much fun.
So much fun. So for everybody joining us, just want to give you the quick rundown of the show and how it normally works if you're new to the Chris and Amanda Show. So every week, Amanda and I pick 3 songs for each other to listen to and review and also give our reactions to. And the reason why this show works so great is, as we like to say, I'm a little rock and roll, Amanda's a little country, and together we definitely expose each other to songs that we don't normally listen to on a regular basis. So far, and I would say in these first 4 episodes, there's been a lot of great surprises. There's been a lot of ratings. I've discovered some new music that has now crept into some playlists that I'm creating because of this. So I definitely love the format that we're doing and the discovery of new music. Our rating system is super simple. It's 5 records means this is an awesome song, and this is totally going to be in our lives forever. And I'm putting this in an ultimate playlist, to 1 record rating being this is being tossed in a dumpster fire and will just melt and never be listened to again. And I just want to erase the song from my existence. So
I always love how extreme you are with that 1 record rating. Dumpster fire.
Dumpster fire. So far, though, no 1 record ratings.
No.
But we've had 2, 3, 5 record, 2 5 record ratings.
Absolutely. 1 was on my pick, which was The Sound of Silence.
And your first 5 record pick out of the, which I'm still blown away. It took 4 shows for you to do a a 5-record pick out of my songs, which is the Interrupters. You Gave Me Everything, which I was so happy you gave that 5 records.
It was because of the It's
That was
all
it.
in the
That's all it took. It just took a little bit of that and Amanda's in. It's 5 records.
5 records. You had me at Who knows what's going to happen this week?
I know. Well, this week is interesting because the songs you gave me. So first of all, before we jump into the show, I do want to give a quick shout out and thank you to, and I think, he's listening down there, Mr. Victor Ruiz, who's also the co-host of the Galaxy Geeks podcast that we've been doing together for several years. We had our 101st episode just this past week, and Mr. Victor Ruiz is also one of our very first Patreon members.
Yes.
And, Amanda, with memberships comes its privileges, right?
It does. And at some point, maybe some responsibility, too.
Possibly. Possibly some responsibility. So because Victor has signed up on our Patreon account, we would like to officially give our very warm official thank you for signing up. But like I said, membership comes with its privileges. And so because of that, Victor was able to choose. Amanda and I posted 4 songs each into the Patreon account, and Victor voted for his 3 that he thought that we should send to each other.
And Victor, I think you saved Chris from a very, very, very sad song this week. So if anyone wants to see what song that was that might have brought the whole show down, sign up for Patreon and you get to see that 4 song that did not make the list, but I love.
Yes. Which I did not listen to it because I was like, it wasn't picked, so maybe I'll go back and listen to it. But it may come back. But it may come back. So
it might come back.
I don't want to taint the judging and the reaction. Fair. So I may leave it because it may come back. So yes, but as we were just saying, so if you would like to join our Patreon. We would love to have you part of our community. For just $2 a month, you actually get to see the video version of the show that we do because Amanda and I record everything as we do the show. So you get to watch our smiling faces. You get to see Amanda turn red and giggle, and it's a whole thing.
All sorts of red, all sorts of giggles, and occasionally the obnoxious laugh.
Yes. And then we have other levels too. We have a $5, $10 level in which you begin to be able to influence the show. So that is a particularly interesting option. So, and Victor has already exercised his membership privilege already on this show.
And he said, I'm good like that. Yes. You saved Chris. You saved Chris for sure. So, oh my gosh. Welcome everyone who's down there. I think we are going to dive into our song choices. So I'll start saying what Chris's were, but I'm going to stumble on how to say the very first song. It's like you absolutely sometimes pick the songs that I struggle saying the most. Is it Duality? What worked? Like, how does my brain work? But that's how. By Slipknot, I can say that. And then Round and Round by Ratt. And then Unchained by Van Halen. Those were Chris's picks this week that Victor helped narrow down.
Yes, he did. And your picks for me were Ingrid Michaelson, The Way I Am, the Lumineers, Nobody Knows, and the Animals, House of the Rising Sun. So, and I don't know if you set it up this way initially, or Victor was able to help shape it. But I will say that these songs all have a genre sort of theme to them, which I'll go into once it's my turn to go. But
I like genres and themes.
Genres.
Sometimes it's not chosen. Sometimes it is. Maybe I was just in that genre mood that week. So fun. Well, do you want to start this week or do you want me to start this week? I can't remember who went last week.
I think I started last week.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure.
So I'll go. I have the most notes on this first song. And I just want to, for those who are only listening, but eventually we'll see, like I literally have like little pieces of paper with my notes. Chris, I think, has a spreadsheet on his computer. You can see him like tabbing over for all of his notes. It's so precious. I love it. So Duality by Slipknot. I said it right that time, right?
You did. You got it right. You nailed it.
Duality. All right. So I first want to say, I feel like the video is extremely disturbing. Like, is it straight out of a horror movie, Chris?
Oh, I was hoping you were going to watch the video because I was like, I can't wait till Amanda sees what Slipknot actually looks like.
No, yes. And the only reason I was like, I need to look up these lyrics. And then like it gave a tiny little baby thumbnail of the guy's like mask. And I'm like, that can't be it. That might just be the cover. Like, no, that's what, does he wear that all the time, Chris? What's wrong with him?
So when they play, they all wear masks. I mean, you saw the video, so they all wear masks. So every record they put out, they change their masks. Every single record, and the masks are a manifestation of how they're feeling, and they all have a theme every. So that's sort of like an inward of like how they feel on the inside. So the mask personifies that.
Victor, you've got to be lying. He just said this song is my wife's ringtone on her phone. I need to hug your wife. No, like I just said, I feel like they're so sad and I need to hug them. And I feel like I don't know if I could with that mask on. It's like straight out of a horror movie. So these are some of my notes. I did say so sad and I need to hug them. And then let's see what else. That was chicken scratch because I couldn't figure. I've got to see. Is this? I can't remember what I wrote there, but anyway, I did not like it at first.
You were so disturbed.
I was so disturbed. But before I watched the video, I had to say, like, I didn't like it at first, but at the end, I was kind of like, the tune wasn't bad though. Mm-hmm. But it was just really morbid. I mean, some of the words are "push my fingers in my eyes."
Right, it's all metaphorical though. See, not very literal.
It's all fun and games until someone gets their eyes poked out, Chris.
I knew you were going to say that, which is another reason why I picked the song specifically, because I know how literal you take everything.
I do.
You're like, he's really poking his eyes out? Like, who would do that?
Oh, and I think I know what those last words were. All I've got is insane. Are those the words like of the chorus or the end of the song or whatever? Like, how sad. And he wants to poke his eyes out.
Well, because he's like, it's duality. So it's like a dual like personality type thing. And that's what he's going on about. Okay. And it's like, and he's trying to figure out how to deal with the pain and so it's like this, that's why it's duality. I mean, I could go deeper. I'm not going to go way, way deep because otherwise we're going to spend the rest of the show talking about the psychology of Duality by Slipknot. But
I felt like psychology needed to happen during that song.
But they're an aggressive metal band, but they always have good. They have messages, and they definitely
like poke your eye out.
They talk about a lot of the internal struggles and mental illness, things like that. So
just so aggressively though.
Well, they're metal, it's like,
and people are like falling through like the ceiling. Yeah. It just felt a little cultish. And I just like worried for their mental health.
You wanted to hug them. You want to hug Slipknot.
I want to hug Slipknot. Do you think that would help? Like, and what if I did hug them and that changed? Are they still alive? Like, are they still like a band together?
They're very much still a band.
I didn't. I didn't mean like alive. I meant together. I just said alive.
Are they still alive?
Are they still alive? No, like, what if I hugged them? They got a good Amanda hug, and their music was forever changed. Chris would hate me.
They're gonna do a record called "It's Always Sunny" with Amanda and Slipknot.
Raphael's face is in complete shock right now. He's like, absolutely not. That's not allowed to happen.
What did I just step in?
I know, Slipknot. I'm coming for you.
Amanda's got big hugs for you, Slipknot.
You get ready. So, I guess I should give my records.
Yeah. So what is your rating?
I'm telling you, I want to give them a solid 2. A solid 2. But because my mama heart hurts for them a little bit, I'm going to give them a 3. But I cannot go to a 4. I cannot. I have to draw. I'm not going to reward bad behavior with a 4 or a 5.
So the mom voice almost came out right there. I heard a little mom voice there. I will not reward bad behavior.
So that's my number 1 ratings for your number 1 pick.
Okay, excellent. Okay, well, listen, it's very fair. I mean, I know Slipknot is not a band that you would normally go to, so I appreciate you stepping way out of your comfort zone, because I can imagine the first time you heard that, you were like, I immediately feel uncomfortable about this song.
Yes.
And so I appreciate you going out of your comfort zone to listen to Duality. This is one of my favorites. I love this. This is one of my favorite Slipknot songs. Well,
and you know what really gets me is my mom always said, be careful with your eyes. You only have like the 2, right? Like you only get them. Like don't. So as soon as I hear like poke your eyes out, basically, I'm immediately going, oh my gosh, they need to protect their eyes. I hope they don't really do that. Like,
you should send them some goggles.
Good thing they wear masks.
That's right. Good thing they wear masks. All right. Well, I love your reaction to this. Very good. And I'm glad that, listen, 3 records is still very respectable. So I think that's a very fair rating coming from you, considering that this is way out of your comfort zone and genre of music you don't partake in on a regular basis.
So true.
All right. So your first song pick for me is by Ingrid Michaelson, and it's The Way I Am. And I have a quick little story about this song because at first I didn't recognize, and then a minute I heard it, I was like, oh, so I do know this song. I'm going to say right now. So
do?
For a bunch of years, when I was doing my video production company, we used to work with a company that did all the artist promotions for a lot of the Sony bands or bands associated in the Sony family. And I used to have to put together reels all the time of sort of the new releases. And we would make like reels for the lobby. We'd make all these commercial reels, all this stuff. This song, when it came out, was like on every reel I had to make. And it was always that one part of that song that feel the way every time with the hand claps, and it drove me insane because it was always just that one part. So as a video editor, you listen to the same thing like 10 billion times, and like Slipknot wanted to poke their eyes out, I wanted to poke my ears out, but but just because it was so repetitive. So I have this, like, when I heard the song, I was like, oh no, it's this song. I instantly got like, oh, I remember the many hours of having to just listen to that same part of that song on loop all the time. So
I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to trigger Chris.
I was a little triggered, but that aside, I did go on, and I wanted to find out. So other than beyond my experience with the song, I wanted to find a little bit more about Ingrid Michaelson. And so this is where I think that the theme comes in, because a lot of the songs you picked are in that indie pop, indie folk, and folk category, including the Animals song, House of the Rising Sun, which I'll get into on that. But so this like indie pop folk sound for me is very like, I feel like I'd be shopping in like Target or like Whole Foods or whatever, like one of those stores, like as this plays, like
one of those crunchy stores,
right? As I'm shopping, it's like, oh, Ingrid Michaelson's on The Way I Am. It's now I'm gonna go buy my organic lettuce. It's just very like this is what I picture playing. So the song is, I would say, as far as your prototypical like indie pop song, it's got everything you would ever want. It's got, stand-up bass, it's got the hand claps, and then, watching the music video, which I'd forgotten about, but it even has like the mopey kids and sad clowns, which is like, so like typical like indie pop kind of a thing. So I don't know, this song, I really tried to go into it with like fresh ears and an open mind again, but it just kind of was like, I don't know, to me it's such a, I hate to say this, but it's such a paint by the numbers like indie pop song for me. Like when I hear it, I'm like, the lyrics are very like I like the lyrics. I think it's cool and all that, but it's like a song that I feel like I'm just too like, oh, I've heard it so many times.
Sure.
But it's not even just that. It's like I feel like I've heard this song like a billion times, like by other people, because it just sounds the same as every other song in that genre for me. So
look at as you're talking about it, I'm like bouncing to it in my head.
I know you. Feel the way I
good morning.
So anyway, so I know we don't give half ratings on this show. So I my initial inclination was
give it like 1.5, just
no,
so it's not a 1.
I wrote down 2.5 records on this.
Okay,
but because I know we don't do half ratings, I would bump it up to a 3.
That's
because
the rounding up rules of math. So yeah,
I don't necessarily hate the song. I just bored by it. So
well, that's okay.
And I know. Let me guess. You heard the song in the Nora Jones Pandora station.
You know that's right. You know that's right.
Amanda's genre.
A couple episodes, I expressed how Crazy Girl was a song that Marcus had sent to me that said, it makes me think of you. Well, this song makes me think of my poor husband. Like the part where I'll buy you Rogaine. When you start, like, I feel like I'm the reason if he loses any of his hair. And so I was like, honey, you got to listen to this song. This is a song. And I made him listen to it. He's like, I don't, what? I was like, well, listen to this part. Listen to this part. And he's like, I guess. Like, okay. So every time I was like, he really just loves me like all crazy. Like we're not like, so every time I hear that song, I just think of like our relationship and how he puts up with me. That's why I like it. But it was on the Nora Jones Pandora station for sure.
I said the minute I put this on, I go, she definitely heard the song on the Nora Jones Pandora. Because I could see the algorithm selecting this because it's like, sounds for like sure. Nora Jones. Therefore, Ingrid Michaelson.
And for those who might be newer to our show, it's Chris has genres that he pulls from. Amanda has Pandora stations.
Sounds like
all the more entertaining. And I have to say, Justin said, this goes back to your song, tweet that, I want to hug Slipknot. Are they still alive, Amanda?
Oh, don't worry. We'll be pulling that as that'll be released as a video bite on Instagram or Reel or something for sure. So it's coming. We
haven't been tweeting. Maybe we should tweet some of this stuff because if that's tweetable, Justin says it's tweetable. Let's see. What if they replied?
And they might take you up on that hug.
And then their music will be forever changed.
I don't know about that, but
could you imagine? I'm pretty confident in my hugs.
The power of my hugs.
Oh, so great. So great. Okay, so your second song was Round and Around by Ratt.
Round and round.
So I have to say, I like the chorus.
Okay. Can I just ask you one quick question?
Yes.
Because this will help. Have you ever heard of Ratt before?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay. And have you ever heard this song prior to this?
No.
Not at all. Ever.
Not at all. Ever.
Okay.
He's judging me, you guys. He's judging me.
I'm not judging.
He's judging. Hey, Victor says, Chris, good thing you didn't pick Snuff. Is Snuff a band? Okay. Would I be hugging them, Victor? Or not hugging them? But so I feel like I might have heard of them before, but not like listened to their music. I really didn't understand the lyrics of the song. They were a little like everywhere, but I did have to watch the video because I just felt like there was so much needed to be explained.
Here it comes.
And I felt like there was more questions needing to be answered. So this was Amanda's chain of events. Round and Round by Ratt. All right, I'll give it a go. Listen to it on our Spotify station that we have. I listen to it. I'm confused. So I look at the lyrics. Go to the lyrics. I'm still confused. I'm going to watch the video. That'll definitely piece it together for me. watch the video, and I'm like, oh, it's like starting like the movie Clue a little bit. Like they're at like a formal dining room table. I'm like, I can get behind this. And then it just gets really weird. Like the older guy and the older woman who kind of looked like a man.
Do you know who the older guy is?
No.
I'm surprised you actually didn't know this one. That's
Who is
Milton Berle.
Who's Milton Berle?
You don't know who Milton Berle is?
Who's Milton Berle?
Oh my God.
What's
Milton Berle
he
is
in?
he was like one of the forefathers of like TV. Like he did like the Milton like variety shows.
I know
like,
Milton
he
Bradley.
Was, like, and he did impressions, and he was like he just he would dress in drag. Like he was like he was like Mr. Saturday Night. He was like the one of the original TV like variety show broadcasters.
So if he dressed in drag, is he the woman?
Yes.
Also, okay. So that I was
at the
like,
dinner table,
like a woman that looks like a man a little
yes,
bit.
that's
so
Milton Berle playing both roles.
But he's like, wink, wink. Like, you want to take
Right.
this somewhere else, like to this music. I'm like, that's not the feeling I get when I'm listening to this music. And then like the girl like winking at the butler or whatever. And then, but it just was, they go upstairs, like, because that's where the concert is.
Right,
yeah, where
Ratt is in the
is.
attic. The Rat's in the attic.
Yeah, and then he like serves like them a platter of rats. Like, I'm going, what is all of this supposed to mean? So, are there any messages behind that other than just complete nonsense? Help me, Chris. Help me.
First of all, your complete description of everything that just happened is like amazing on its own. In fact, I love how you so logically broke down the music video for Round and Round. It's amazing. It's literally it's like Ratt is one of the like largest, like one of the bigger of the LA like quote unquote hair metal bands or hard, whatever you want to classify it. So they're in that group with like Motley Crue and and Warrant and Poison and all, but they were good. They were really different because they were a little more harder edged, and Stephen Piercy's voice had that more like sleazy rock and roll, like real, like they didn't
normal 80s like rock, like that's what I envision.
Yeah. Well, that's exactly what they are, 100%. But they had a little bit more of an edge to them, and that like darker like side than like like the really bright like colors of like a Poison or something like that, or like super glammed out. They were more of like just the rock guys, like sleazy rock and rollers type of thing.
In those like leotard pants. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, you love it.
Yeah, absolutely. With their big old hair. Yeah. I wish I could get my hair that big. It's not fair.
Yeah, you can tease your hair out really way big. That'll be one of the shows we do.
Yes.
I'll get a wig. I'll wear a wig, and you tease your hair all the way out. 80s. We'll do
absolutely.
A whole 80s.
Absolutely. You don't even have to become a Patreon member to get that service.
No,
we're just going to provide
it. It just gives us a reason to dress up.
Absolutely.
But Round and Round. I mean, it's literally just it's just round and round. It's just sort of like just got the girl. It's just round and round. It's just the same thing over and over again.
And she's like slips out of her skin, like
she has a metamorphosis.
The stairs, like it just was so.
Because as she hears the music of Ratt, it's transforming. She's going through a complete metamorphosis and change.
Oh, she did.
Amanda. Oh, Amanda.
So I can't say I could appreciate the lane that they were in, and I think the lane that they were in, they did well.
Right, 80s hard rock.
Yes,
metal.
And their voices were not like really crazy. Like it's what I expected to hear from that whole package. I still was confused at the end of the day, but I didn't hate it. So I'm gonna give it a 3.
Okay.
I can't go to a 4 by any stretch of the imagination.
That's fair. And once again, it's fair considering you've never even heard of Ratt before. Now, wait. So, have you seen the Geico commercial where Ratt is playing?
I like the Geico commercial, so I must not realize that it's Ratt.
It's Ratt. So Ratt, and it's round and round, and it's like just like comes in right at that chorus, and it's Ratt.
Really?
Round and
Does
round.
the
It's
little
Geico
chameleon
commercial.
have a wig on, or did I make that up?
I don't remember if he has a wig or not on. That's something I don't remember. If anybody in the audience knows, let us know. But I can't remember if he has a wig on or not. But
I don't just make up.
He is rocking out.
Make up commercials too.
He is rocking out though.
He is. So I mean, I'm kind of like you, like the 2.5 really is where it needs to be, but I'm going to give it a 3 though, just because I feel like they nailed what they were supposed to do.
That's great. Yeah.
I don't think they need hugs though. I don't think they need hugs. They're not conflicted with their message. They're just partying.
No, they're just partying, man.
They're partying.
They're Ratt.
They're Ratt. More than one member of the band may be in a wig. Victor, I might have to, if you see this hair, I don't know if I can get that. Maybe if Chris and I both will be in wigs.
Yes. All right. So your second song to me was by the Lumineers. The song called Nobody Knows. And once again, this is another song that I classify in the indie pop folk genre. And
I didn't even know that was a thing. Like
they are right now. So if you don't know who the Lumineers are, which I was like, wait a second, is this the same band that does that song? And that song is Hey Ho. And I hate that song.
I love that song.
I can't stand that song. I turn it off every time. I can't stand the stomping and it's too much. It's so like prototypical. Like
it's in a show I watch, Heart of Dixie. So that Hey Ho song, that's why I know that song.
Right.
Yep.
It's either either Nora Jones Pandora Station or a show.
There you go.
That's it.
It's
so
simple.
But that being said, this song is different from the Hey Ho song. I did not realize that this song was actually, because I didn't watch the new version of Peach Dragon, because I always loved Peach Dragon.
Mm-hmm.
Like I love that. That's like one of my, and that's also too one of the like first like Disney like mix of live action and animation. And I always loved the original Peach Dragon. I did not watch this latest one, which is why I didn't realize that this song was, I guess, for this film. I guess they wrote this for the movie or something like that. But so listening to it a few times, I was like, wow. The first time I listened to it, it really didn't like grab me because I was so sort of like that Hey Ho song. Like I just can't, and I couldn't get. But I wanted to listen to it more because I liked the lyrics of the song, and the more I listened to it, the more it really grew on me. The more I actually was like, you know what? I like this song, and this is another one. I talk about this a lot because of this show. I've started a Sunday morning playlist. So this show went into the Sunday morning playlist. It is now in the Sunday morning playlist. And I enjoy the song. I think it's pretty good, regardless of like, I'm not a huge, like that sound that I guess is like very synonymous with like indie pop folk, which is just, I don't know, it just irritates me a bit. And I don't want to sound like I don't want to sound super pretentious music nerd. It just is not my thing all the time. But this song I actually really liked, made my Sunday playlist. I really liked the lyrics of this song a lot. I watched the video, which was, pretty standard. They're in the, sort of studio and, cutting in the footage from the movie. So nothing crazy there. So I'm going to give this a solid 3 records. I like the song. And I just want to know when I give something 3 records, it's like, doesn't mean it stinks. And I don't think it just is like, for me, like if I get into the 4 or 5 record range, it's like, this is a song when I get into the car, I'm going to go and I'm going to find it, I'm going to listen to. This is like, I put it on the playlist and it exists in my life.
Which is a compliment in itself.
I may not specifically go to this song all the time, but it's in a playlist now that I will enjoy the playlist. So it's a 3.
I'll take it.
It's a 3 records for me.
It is a Sunday when I'm just trying to like, every day is a kind of a Sunday for me. I think we've already established this, but it's just the tune and the beat of it just is very not forced. Mm-hmm. I like when the vocals on a song are just very effortless. And I feel like that's what this is. And unlike some of the other songs that they're like, wow, like you have to really work hard to get to that place. Not like when they're singing like that. And even like Ingrid's song, like it's just a different, like lighthearted, mellow, non-forced music. So I like it.
I like this song much more than the Ingrid Michaelson song by far, even though I know right now on paper they share a same rating, but in reality, like Ingrid Michaelson's like a 2.5 for me. Whereas this is like a solid 3, and it could inch into a 4. It could. It's like right on the line between a 3 and a 4. But because of the reason that I wouldn't just go actively seek this out in the sense of I would put this on, makes it not to be a 4, but it's enough that I'd put it on the playlist. Like it would be on a, like I'd put it on a mixtape. That's how it would make a mixtape. You can't make
this a 3 without explaining that number 1 was really only a 2.5. I enjoy that.
Well, I got to make it clear because I do like this song a lot better than the Ingrid Michaelson song.
Oh, Victor says, I don't want to be a super pretentious music nerd. That's great. That's quotable.
I don't want to be a super pretentious music, but I'm going to be right now.
Well, that's when you're the knowledgeable music lover and I'm the feelings music lover.
I feel like they need a hug.
When I hear that song. I feel they need a hug. Yes. Like it's all about the feelings.
All about the feelings.
All about the feelings. So your third song. So Van Halen, I know you really have a pedestal. So I'm going to go very gently with this one because I don't want to hurt Chris's for Van Halen.
It's okay.
So it's a classic rock song.
You gotta see Amanda's face.
I'm trying really hard to be nice.
If you don't like the song, you don't like the song. It's okay.
No, I don't hate it. I feel like it has the classic rock screeching in it, but I feel like I can tell the talent behind the screeching. And I don't dislike the tone. At all.
Well, you're searching.
I really am searching here because I don't want to hurt your feelings. So
you're not going to hurt my feelings.
I feel like I want to give it a 4, but I can't. So I'm going to go with a 3. But with that being said,
there's so much more behind this because you seem to be holding way back on what you really want to say.
No, I just. Well, first of all, I didn't realize that who Van Halen even was. So that's really what I want to say too, but I don't want to hurt I don't want to destroy the pretentious music nerd.
You're not going to destroy the pretentious music nerd.
By not even knowing really who that person is.
But you know Van Halen.
What are some other songs that
heard Jump? You've at least heard Jump. Might as well.
How does Jump go?
Jump. Might as well jump. There. Come on. Panama. Well, see, they even have the
I might not even
which you
know.
love.
Instant 4 now. No. I might know Panama and just be singing the wrong words.
Hot for Teacher.
What are some? So
hot
is it
for Teacher? Got it made. I'm hot for teacher.
Oh my gosh, no! Wow. I know.
Maybe you know more of the Sammy Hagar era stuff, which is Dreams.
Sweet Dreams. One?
That's Eurythmics. Oh my god.
What's your dreams one? How does that one go?
That's what dreams are made. We're gonna get higher and higher. Straight up we'll climb.
I think that was in a Power Rangers movie. Can you Google that real quick? Was that song in a Power Rangers movie?
I'll Google it real quick.
Hang tight. I gotta know. I at least have to say that I've heard one of the songs that you just referenced because there were so many. Does anyone in the audience know if that was in a Power Ranger movie?
Yes, they were. It was yes.
In the original Power Ranger movie?
The one in 1995.
So I know it from that. I've heard that song. Higher and higher, like that. Da, 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 da. Okay,
yeah.
Okay.
Straight up we'll climb.
Okay, if we were talking about that song, I'd give it a 4. But we're not.
We're talking about Unchained.
We're talking about Unchained, which I somehow wrote down as Unchanged. But I didn't even just can't help it. So to wrap it up, I'm just gonna leave it at a 3.
This is quite possibly one of my favorite Van Halen songs of all time. Is
No
Unchained.
way.
And when they opened with it live, when I saw them when they got back together with Dave, for those couple tours they did when they got back together to tour off the new record. Well, they did a little reunion tour, and then they toured on a new record, and they opened with Unchained, and I lost it. I lost it. I was like, I could just leave now. Like I heard like I'm done. I would nuts.
I'm glad you have
it
that.
Is my favorite Van Halen song. Like I mean, and I love Van Halen, so I have like my little top 10 list of like my go-to Halen songs, and Unchained is like by far my number one favorite Van Halen song. Like it blows me away every time I hear it.
I'm so sorry to only give
you
it.
You don't have to apologize. Do not apologize. You like what you like, even if you don't know who Van Halen is.
I like what I feel.
You like what you feel.
And you know what? The only reason I'll give the other song by him a 4 is because Owen used to watch that, like when he was really little. Yeah, that Power Ranger movie. It was one of his favorites. So like, I have a special feeling to that song. Because again, it's all about the feelings.
Wow, I can't believe you don't know Van Halen. So let's see. So I was telling everybody. So Amanda and I were talking before, and I think we may have to start making some bonus episodes of this because my wife and I were playing a game called, which somehow got started. I think she started it, which is, what songs do you think Amanda does know, or what bands do you think Amanda knows while we're listening in the car to like playlist music?
Yes.
Like Spotify, and it really became a debate. Like we were starting to do some real science behind the Amanda algorithm of like, well, if she listens to this, she must be listening. It was like a chart where they're trying to hunt for a serial killer or something, and they have the pins and it's like, well, that's what it started becoming. Like, well, let's start with Norah Jones. If she's heard Norah Jones and she's like, you start to do the data from the songs that she gives me, and you can compile the Amanda algorithm, which then leads to maybe she knows this band. What's the probability there? You're amazing, Amanda.
If I do, does she know the right words?
Well, then that's a whole separate X factor. I can't even go with that.
I can't. It's so true. I feel like last week you really like nailed the algorithm. Like you really cracked it really well, and you're like, I'm gonna give her some that. I feel like you were testing the algorithm,
right?
But you know what? Just as complicated as like Instagram and Facebook's algorithm and TikTok's, I feel like now that you're expanding my listening genres, that algorithm can switch. So it's going to be interesting because I feel like it is switching a little.
It is. It absolutely is. When you send me screenshots of Kickstart My Heart in your car, I'm like, see?
That was
worming its way into your brain.
Yes. For those listening in the audience, we just don't talk to each other just on Mondays at noon.
No.
It's often throughout the week, and it can be as simple as a quick screenshot of my car saying, look what I'm listening to.
Exactly.
So fun.
Exactly.
Oh, I can't wait to hear all of your thoughts on the final song.
Okay, so your final song to me, which a great song, the Animals' House of the Rising Sun. So first off, I love the Animals. I think the Animals are one of those British bands that, yes, they get respect, but I always feel like they get lost in the conversation. So they have a lot of respect, but they get lost in the conversations of like great bands that come out during that time. And I really love their sound. And like, so I think some people who listen to the show know that I love like the genre of garage rock, garage rock genre. But I love a lot of those bands that were like in the mid to late 60s that came out. Some of them, like a lot of them put their own stuff out, but it's just this whole like lost stuff, like lost music, lost bands that just, because there were so many that came out during that time, it was just impossible. And there's so many great compilations and just other bands that just didn't, show up on the radar, like bands like the Sonics, which I absolutely love the Sonics. And so the Animals for me have that sound there. They have that very like awesome British rock sound, combining that blues and soul music together with like that edge and just feeling raw and energetic. So I really like the Animals a lot. So I was really psyched when you picked this song on the list. So this song in particular, though, House of the Rising Sun, classic song. I don't think there's a person out there that if you don't listen to, classic rock that you've never heard this song. I mean, you've had to have heard this song on the radio. But it got me digging because I was like, wow, let me listen. I want to learn more about this song because I knew that this song was not an original song by the Animals. I knew it was a cover, but I didn't know how deep it went. So
sure.
I went on my favorite website that I like to talk about on this show all the time, songfacts.com, and they did not disappoint with some amazing facts about this song. So first off,
I can't wait to hear because as
I take a drink here.
Yeah, I know no like facts about this song. It's all about the feelings.
I knew it was all about the feelings for you. So this song, so two things. Everybody's like, well, what is the House of the Rising Sun? Like, what is he talking about in the song? So, or what is the song about? So there's two popular opinions about this song and where it's from. So one is the song's about a brothel in New Orleans. House of the Rising Sun was named after its occupant, Madame Marie Lucille Levant, which means Rising Sun in French, and was open for business from 1862 until 1874 when it was closed due to complaints by neighbors, and it was located at 830 St. Louis Street. Number two, it's about a women's prison in New Orleans called the Orleans Parish Women's Prison, which had an entrance gate adorned with Rising Sun artwork, and that would explain the ball and chain lyrics in the song. So those are two of the most popular opinions, according to Sound Facts, as to what the song is actually about and referencing. The song itself, the melody is a traditional English ballad, but the song became popular as an African-American folk song. It was recorded by Texas Alexander in the 1920s, and then by a number of other artists, including Leadbelly, Woody Guthrie, Josh White, and later Nina Simone. And I was like blown away to find that out because I didn't realize how far back this went and as far as how many times it's been covered. And I know there's other covers too. Mm-hmm. According to Eric Burden, the lead singer of the Animals, it was her version that they first heard. And because the song is basically a royalty-free song, no one can claim rights to the song. It's been covered by many, many bands. So anybody can cover this song. It's not, it's a royalty-free song. Another interesting fact I found out, more digging. It's like being a detective on these songs. I did not realize. So for any Bob Dylan fans that are listening, I'm sure that there's probably a good chance that, you probably know this. But Bob Dylan recorded this song in 1962 for his very first record. So, and I went back and I listened to his version, which I'm not a big Dylan fan. I always feel like, once again, Dylan's an amazing songwriter. Mm-hmm. And other people take his songs and make them way better than Dylan does. I know that's a very unpopular opinion, but that's my opinion. But he recorded the song for his debut record. And interesting enough, this is what he had said, is when he heard the Animals version 2 years later, this is the moment that it made him realize that he could take folk songs and make them electric. Mm. So it was this transformative listening for Dylan, who learned that he could basically put a rock rhythm to a folk song, and this is what made him buy an electric guitar and start using it. And famously, the 1965 Newport Folk Festival is where he did an electric set for the first time. So I just found that so fascinating that it was his listening to the Animals version of a folk song that he did, but adding their take on it electrically is sort of one of the catalysts for him making the switch from folk to electric and buying an electric guitar. So I thought that was absolutely fascinating. The Animals, I also found out they recorded this song in one take. They recorded this song in one take, and it was because they perfected the song from performing it on the road so much. They were on the road with Chuck Berry at the time, and they purposely they wanted to play the song because they wanted to definitely, they just loved the song, and they played it every night they were on tour with Chuck Berry. So when they went into the studio, they literally just busted it out in one take, which I was like, wow. The song charted #1 in the US and the UK, which I was also like, wow, that's the #1 song. I mean, I knew it was popular in the UK, but I didn't realize it actually hit the charts at #1 in the United States, which I think at the same time this was released, the Beatles had released a bunch of songs too. So they were actually they actually hit number one the same time the Beatles were on the charts too. So it was kind of this cool like little thing for them. So I just thought that was some cool, interesting facts about that song, because I kept going down a rabbit hole of like more and more history about that song. And I didn't realize that it was royalty free and that it had this like long history of being folk based, and then all these other versions of the songs. And I know there's a Five Finger Death Punch version out there, which I can't stand that band. So, but I know but this song has been covered so many times. But I think for most people, I mean, I will say myself included, that this version by the Animals is by far like the most recognizable and the most popular version of the song. So my record rating for the Animals version of House of the Rising Sun is 5 records.
Yes.
This is to me, this is an iconic song, and this is why a song like this deserves to be 5 records, because it's just an amazing song. And the more you do the history behind it and you see how it came about, how a song could like survive through generations, be passed down, and then somebody else takes it and does their version of it, their arrangement of it, and brings like this whole different life to it. And then how it then influences like other, I mean, if that is really true, and they say this is what Dylan has said, is that hearing that version is what was the real catalyst for him making that switch. Like that's amazing. Like what a hugely influential moment in music. Absolutely. From that point of view as well. So it's amazing that's so much cultural significance with that song and how it survived and passed down through the ages and then re-recorded and all that. So, and every time I hear it, it sounds for me, I feel like the song, even though it's in the 60s, it still sounds very fresh to me, as well as all the other Animal songs as well. So it is a 5 record pick for me.
I enjoy that because I really enjoy this song, and that's on the Norah Jones station. Believe it or not. I mean, maybe you can see it, but that's how I take it back. So first of all, Victor, I was so in tuned with what Chris was saying during his story that I was like listening so in depth that when you party poppered or did the choo-choo, like it scared me a little. So I'm gonna have to look back and see if it I jumped a little when I heard his noise. But it said Dylan turned 80 today, which is very cool. And cool. Very timely that we're having this discussion. And I love that you are knowledgeable as well and not just feelings. Because when I first heard this song, I was like, I've heard this song before, but I didn't know how. And I'm really good at zoning in on, okay, I think it was a TV show. What TV show would this be? And why would it be appropriate in that TV show? And I was like, I think it was Sons of Anarchy. And so, of course, there is a version of this song in Sons of Anarchy, which is totally, and I go, it really is important for somebody in that film or that recording or that, TV, the music people of those episodes and the music people of movies, their role is so important, because for me to be able to reference back and take me back to, I think it was Sons of Anarchy, that's powerful, even though it was a different version. I wish they would have did this version, but they didn't. That's okay. And when Owen was little, he used to call it Sons of Narky. Isn't that cute?
That's cute.
That's so cute. So when I heard it on the Norah Jones Pandora station, I was like, I love that song. It speaks. We did reels this week to just kind of promote our song choices for each other. And I said in that reel, I was like, it speaks to my soul. I don't know what it is about this song, but I can't shake it out of my body when I hear it. It's so good. So I'm so glad you gave it a 5.
Yeah, I mean, it is. I agree. I mean, everything you said is spot on with that song. And I think Eric Burdon, too, Eric Burdon's voice is so just great. It's so soulful. And he's got that deeper, bluesy type voice. And he just brings a lot of emotion to the song. And I just, the whole, in the band, and even just playing how they play that guitar intro with the way and you listen to the folk versions and just the way to play that, it's just a whole thing. It just is such a great, everybody just complements each other so well to bring it together and make it a really iconic version of that song. And like I said, I don't get sick of hearing it, and it comes on and it's kind of it's a little bit of a showstopper in a sense, because I think everybody knows this song. You hear it and it's just it's people recognize it when it comes on. Usually it comes on, somebody's like, oh, I love this song. It always inspires some kind of a emotion. And that's another reason why,
Agreed.
like, that's what to me makes a 5-record song. Like, something that gets people, like, no matter where you are and it comes on, somebody's like, oh man, I love this song. This song's great. Like,
and they would say that mid-sentence even because it triggers them to have a response. I agree. And I think that's a really good way to describe a 5-record choice.
Yeah.
Is if it's that, like you said, showstopper, that it stops you in your tracks to actually comment on it. And you're right. Like when I hear it, I'm like, oh, I love this song. I actually have to do the, oh, I love this song. And I think it's interesting. You can speak to it a little bit better than what I can, but I think every piece musically in that puzzle makes it the perfect combination. I don't think one person, while the vocals are very important, I think every piece of that whole song is so important to make it, iconic is what it is.
No doubt. Absolutely. I mean, it just sucks you in. I mean, you hear it and it just sounds like different right away. You know, from that opening, like it just sucks you right in, and then the vocals come in and you just feel it.
I wish I know I'm a woman, but I wish I could have like that impact vocally, that you sing and you capture people. Oh,
it's a talent. It's a real talent. It's 100%. I mean, to have that vocal quality that just seems to like resonate with large audiences because of the quality and the tone and the style. It just, that's why it's so hard to cut through. Because it is a thing. Like, you hear Eric Burdon, you're like, that's Eric Burdon. Like, nobody, like, that is clearly Eric Burdon. When you think about all the other, the Beatles and I mean any famous, like, world renowned, like, anybody that's just like so iconic. It's like you listen to and you're like, nobody sounds like that. Like, that is purely unique to them.
It is. Oh, I just love it. I love it. See, I'm still going, oh, I love it. It's just so
there you
good.
go.
And I didn't even have that as the third, but I feel like all of our, last week I kind of manipulated it, but all of our 5-record ratings came at the very last song.
They did. And I just, and I said at the top, like, all your songs had a theme to it with the genres. And what I meant by that was that they're all folk so, like, whether it's indie folk or folk pop, and this song having strong folk roots, like being a folk song first, that's been passed down through generations. So that's why, there's that tying theme that brings all that, and it's all these different generations of folk music, whether in a pop form or rearranged or, and I thought that was kind of interesting. So I was like, oh, I didn't know if you planned it like that or not. But
no, not at all.
That was the unifying theme that I was like, wow, it's like kind of like some different generations of folk kind of represented here. I thought that was kind of neat.
I must have been feeling nostalgic, which is all my life.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. My gosh, you guys, it's already 1 and we haven't even got to like ask anyone to come up yet. Like, I know we're a little over, Chris, but can we have people come up? Is that all right?
Absolutely. I'm fine. If everybody wants to hang out with us for a little bit more, they want to come on up. We're happy to have you come up. While we're waiting for people to come up, just want to remind you all that we do go live every Monday at 12 p.m. Eastern. We will be live next Monday at 12 p.m. Even though it is Memorial Day, it is a holiday. We will have a theme episode going on, which we will announce during the week on Instagram or on our accounts. If you follow us on Instagram, if you follow us on Facebook or any of the other spots, we will make that announcement with our picks as well. So we're very excited about that. And I want to welcome to the stage my Galaxy of Geeks co-host and our Patreon supporter, Mr. Victor Ruiz. Victor, how are you, my friend?
Victor.
If you don't know how to hit the unmute, you just hit the little microphone there, Victor. I know he's newer to the platform.
Okay. Can you hear me
now?
There
You go. Yes, sir.
All right.
Hey, Victor.
Awesome.
So nice to meet ya.
Likewise.
So what do you think of this Hot Mess Express we call the Chris and Amanda show?
It's interesting. Chris knows me. I'm very do you know who Larry David is by any chance?
Should it surprise you that I'm gonna say no?
I'm not Seinfeld though. What?
No, the noises drive me bonkers.
Oh, okay. Well, then I guess Curb Your Enthusiasm. That was on HBO for a long running.
Which character in Seinfeld?
Well, he was the writer
of the show.
Oh,
yeah. He was.
I retract
The
everything.
George Costanza character is based off of him.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So, what I'm trying to get at, and Chris knows this because Chris also kind of baits me with sending me music videos that he knows is going to set me off.
It's true.
It's funny because initially I'm completely serious. That Slipknot song is my wife's ringtone on her phone.
Does your wife need a hug?
I'm sure she would say the same thing about some of the things you selected. So I think the feeling would kind of be mutual.
Well, yeah, a lot of the songs I do they do need hugs.
Well, it's funny because we listen to stuff, and her big group growing up was the Doors, and when I moved over to Spain, she started to get into heavier music, like Slipknot, like System of a Down, like Fear Factory, stuff like that. And if I listen to all kinds of music. We generally listen to all kinds of music, but I'll put pop music on, and right away it's take this crap off, put something heavier on. So,
Put something heavier on.
Yeah. When Victor's like, hey, I just want to listen to something pop. I listen to heavy stuff all the time. She's like, nah, done. Out of here.
The heavier, the better. The better, I meant, not metal. I never mind. So did you listen to my songs, Victor, before you selected them?
I knew some of them. Obviously, I knew the Animals song, and I knew bits and pieces of the other ones. I knew all of Chris's 4 songs, but
sure.
For me, it's a little bit more difficult because I've lived out of the country for 17 and a half years, so I don't get to hear a lot of the stuff that you guys get to hear, even if it's included in a commercial or a TV show. For example, there were certain things that I've learned from doing with the show with Chris, different terminology that I was completely ignorant to, but it just how the English language has evolved and how different wording is used nowadays. It's totally different to when I lived in a country that spoke English 24/7. So
now you have to keep up with Amanda speak too.
Amanda Michigan speak.
Yeah.
And by the way, that Slipknot song, you could consider that one of their poppier songs.
Yes.
Oh my word.
It is one of their, great point, Victor. It is one of their more poppy, more mainstream accessible songs for sure.
Yes. Like the other song that I named, Snuff, is a ballad about killing someone. There's another song that's called Sulfur. Yes. That's also a ballad that's very Pink Floydy. But then you have song titles like, can I curse, Chris?
I don't know what the rule is here on Fireside. Keep it PG.
Okay. I'll use the Scottish term. There's a title of one of their songs that's called "People Equals Shite." How about I put it that way?
Oh yes, okay. yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So and much to like what Chris was trying to explain before, I mean, the lyrics sound harsh and the music sounds harsh, and the videos and everything, but it has a lot to do with people that grew up in the middle of Iowa, had nothing else to do, and had a lot of issues growing up. So it's kind of a manifestation of that, and how, as he said, it's kind of trying to bring to light a lot of mental issues that people go through. A lot of their lyrics are dark, a lot of their things are horror based, but there is another side of that where they do a lot of things that have to do with substance abuse and with mental issues. And today was actually the anniversary of the death of their original bass player as well, of Paul Gray.
Yeah, Paul Gray.
And that was due to someone that used drugs for so long, and by the time he quit using them, his body was so messed up. I think he died from some heart condition that came from years of just drug abuse. So,
and I think music is just an outlet for so many emotions. And
yeah,
I've shared with Chris, like I paint when I get crabby, and it's good that it comes out, you know, in a painting versus other ways. So if their way of working through it, and a lot of artists' ways of working through it is to sing, like that's a good thing. We don't know what the alternative would be.
No, I mean, art is subjective, you know, and the way people create, it just comes out however it comes out. That's it, you know?
Right. There's another thing that kind of took place this weekend. Here in Europe, there's a big song competition called Eurovision. And
I just heard about that this morning, Victor. I don't mean to cut you off, but I literally just heard of that. Raphael taught me about it like 4 hours ago. Okay.
So there was a big deal because there was an Italian rock band that won that actually won the award this year, or won the competition. I mean, people call in to vote for it and whatnot. But anyway, so the singer, as a joke, when they said that they won, he pretended to go down on a table as if he was sniffing something. So the initial reaction by a lot of people are, well, what do you expect from a form of music that only is full of addicts? And it's similar to what you guys are just saying about art and how it's different for different people. But that isn't like kind of exclusive to just rock music. Because I mean, you can look at like a Miles Davis, or you can look at an Amy Winehouse, or you can, a Demi Lovato. There are so many other forms of music where people still have addiction problems. People still have mental illness. You know, it's not exclusive to one thing. And as you're saying, I think that's great, though, to be able to, find a release in art or find a release in different things where maybe other people are born in different circumstances and in different surroundings, and they're not able to do that. So.
Absolutely. And hopefully the music that they listen to will help them work through those feelings for sure. Oh,
absolutely.
Listen to all these emotions. Like, you just sounded so magical, Victor. Drop all those bombs and then magic happened.
And then chimes.
Chimes, so zen. Oh, well, so fun.
I try. Totally by accident, believe me.
Victor, it was so nice to meet you and get to hear your voice and hear your take on our show a little bit. It was fun. Thank you.
Yeah, Thanks. It was a lot of fun listening. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Thanks for your help, man.
Yep.
Well, another awesome. Great episode, Chris.
Another awesome episode. Really, really happy. I thought it was a lot of fun. We gave each other some more new music, and you certainly did not disappoint in your reactions, which I love. I love learning all this stuff about you. It's so great. It makes it so much more fun. And you're an awesome co-host. So thanks for playing along as well as you do.
I can't even play it. It's just who I am. And thank you for bringing the knowledge and the research to the show. I think it's crazy that song is royalty free. And I feel like then now all I want to do is do a version of it. So
well, you can
get ready. Well, Chris, I think you have to be included now. I can do unlimited versions because there's no royalties. So there has to be a Chris and Amanda show one.
Yeah.
Chris, you know how to play it?
House on a Rising. No, I would have to really practice on that. That's for sure.
Do you think you could do that?
I don't know. We'll talk about it off air.
I'll practice my vocals.
Yeah. Well, you definitely have to be the one to sing because I cannot sing for anything. Which I think great. I've proven multiple times here today.
Oh, you did great. You did great. Hey, I narrowed it down to Power Rangers. I mean, it's a good day. You sang, I referenced Power Rangers. What more does anyone want?
Van Halen and Power Rangers. Wow, what a show.
We nailed it.
Totally nailed it. Well, once again, we want to thank everybody for listening today. A couple quick ways just to remind you all before we sign off, some ways that you can help us grow the show is to actually reshare the replay for this link. If you really enjoy listening to the show and you think others would enjoy listening to it, please reshare the link to this show, which we do post. We update it every week right after the show on if you go to chrisandamandashow.com, there's a bunch of links there, and the links are always there for every individual episode, so you can even go back and listen to past episodes if you missed anything. But resharing the replay really helps to grow the show, because that's what Amanda and I want to do. Grow the show. We want to stay exclusively on Fireside app. So to do that, we definitely need help growing the show. Second way is, as we've talked about it several times, and Mr. Victor is up here on stage as proof, he has joined our Patreon account. We do have several Patreon levels for just $2 a month, just get you access to the video version of the show, which you can watch. But once you get into that $5 and up level, you get to influence the show a bit. So you get to have a say in the songs that are picked. When Amanda and I, we post those in the Patreon account, and then you get to select the 3 songs that we will do based on the picks that we put in there for the week. Plus there's some merch bundles, and there is even, I think, some kind of like outrageous one now with a karaoke.
And it might look hidden, but I assure you that's not on purpose, but we'll call it the hidden Patreon level, where for $100, Chris and I will karaoke a song of your choice. And no one has taken us up on that. They either believe that we would just nail it and the world can't handle it, or they're pulling their money. I mean, I'm just waiting. I'm really surprised it's taken this long for people to try and make us feel like a fool.
Yeah, we don't. You guys can all pull. We don't know. We don't care how it happens. Just, if it happens, we will do whatever song is picked.
Just think, if I were to sing Duality, or Chris was to sing The Way I Am, the song that he dislikes so much.
That's a hair clap. Yeah. Just think of that. Just think of all the awesomeness that'll happen. Yeah.
And we'll dress for the occasion too, as much as we can. I mean, we'll try and duplicate it as much as we can.
We'll put a show on.
Absolutely. Yeah. We certainly appreciate everyone tuning in. What a fun episode today was.
Yes, it absolutely was. And we appreciate everybody who was listening to this live. All your reactions. Thank you so much. Thanks, Victor, for coming up on stage and hanging out with us. And as always, we want to thank everybody who's listening to this as a replay. We appreciate all of you. Thanks for listening to the replay, and thanks for your support. And I guess with that, Amanda, any final words?
No, I think every episode just continues to become more and more fun, especially as our community kind of gets to know our personalities a little bit better for the people who don't know us. So it's just really fun to kind of build that up, and I love it.
Yes, absolutely. Final words from me is I can't wait to see you give Slipknot a hug. I hope that happens.
Okay, this is a virtual one, but imagine.
It would be great. It would be absolutely insane.
If anyone can make it happen, I feel like we can make it happen. So stay tuned.
Amanda hugging Slipknot. Be so great. All right, everybody. Well, thank you all so much once again for all your support. Please check us out over at Instagram. We do keep that updated. Of course, Patreon. All the other links you can get by accessing the chrisandamandashow.com. It's in the little fortune cookie scrolling here. You can click it. It'll take you right there. And that's a wrap for us. We'll see you all next Monday for a special Memorial Day themed episode. All the fun kicks off 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. See you guys then.
See you guys.